Chapter 1, The Whispers of Quandaria, Part 2, A Dance with Shadows. Lyria's voice washed over me like silk-wrapped steel, each word carefully chosen, each phrase a puzzle within itself. I listened, my mind working overtime to pass the flood of information. "The key, Mr. Blackthorn, is not merely a physical object," she said, her obsidian eyes never leaving mine. "It's a relic of immense power, forged in the dawn of Quandaria's history. Legend has it that it can unlock more than just doors. It can open pathways to realms beyond mortal comprehension." I leaned back in my creaky chair, absently tapping my pipe against my palm. Sounds like the kind of thing that should stay lost, if you ask me. "What makes you think it's here in Quandaria?" A smile played at the corners of Lyria's lips, sharp and knowing. "Oh, it's here. The key has shall we say, a unique energy signature. I've tracked it to this city, but beyond that, its exact location eludes me. And that's where I come in," I finished for her, raising an eyebrow. "You want me to find a mystical key that apparently doesn't want to be found, in a city teeming with magical artifacts and charlatans peddling fake relics on every corner. Anything else I should know? Does it turn people into toads? Summon elder gods? Make the sewers run with liquid gold?" Lyria's laugh was like ice cracking, beautiful and dangerous. "Your reputation for wit serves you well, Mr. Blackthorn, but I assure you the dangers associated with the key are far more substantial than mere amphibian transformations." I stood up, walking to the window. The streets of the Crossroads district pulsed with life below, a tapestry of light and shadow. Somewhere out there, amid the tangle of narrow alleys and towering spires, was an artifact of immense power. And something told me I wasn't the only one looking for it. "Who else wants this key, Lyria?" I asked, not turning from the window. "I doubt I'm the first person you've approached about this." The silence that followed was heavy, pregnant with unspoken truths. When Lyria finally spoke, her voice had lost some of its melodious quality, taking on a harder edge. "You are more perceptive than most give you credit for, Corvus." The use of my first name sent a chill down my spine. There are others who seek the key, powerful individuals and organizations who would use its power for their own ends. Some wish to harness it, others to destroy it. All of them are dangerous. I turned back to face her, noting the tension in her posture, the way her fingers curled slightly, as if ready to cast a spell at a moment's notice. "And which category do you fall into, Lyria? User or destroyer?" Her smile was enigmatic. "I am merely a collector, as I said. My interest is purely academic." "Right," I drawled, not believing it for a second. "And I'm the High Mage of Quandaria. Let's cut the crap, shall we? You're asking me to stick my neck out for this job, so I need to know what I'm really getting into. Who are these others?" Lyria's eyes flashed, the pinpricks of light in their depths flaring momentarily. For a heartbeat, I thought she might lash out, but then she seemed to deflate slightly. "Very well," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "There is a group known as the Veiled Hand. They are collectors, like myself, but with far less scrupulous methods. They seek the key for its destructive potential. Then there are the Guardians of the Eternal Flame, an ancient order dedicated to protecting Quandaria from mystical threats. They believe the key should be destroyed." I nodded, filing away the information. "And let me guess, both groups have agents all over the city, probably watching every move I make from the moment I take this case?" Lyria's silence was answer enough. I sighed, running a hand through my disheveled hair. "Fantastic. A magical arms race, and you're putting me right in the middle of it. You do realize that by hiring me, you've essentially painted a target on my back. I would not have come to you if I did not believe you were capable of handling such complications," Lyria said, rising from her chair with fluid grace. "Your reputation precedes you, Corvus Blackthorn. You've solved cases that others deemed impossible, navigated the treacherous waters of Quandaria's underworld with a dexterity that borders on the supernatural." I snorted. "Flattery will get you everywhere, sweetheart, but it won't stop a knife in the dark or a spell in the back." Lyria reached into her cloak and produced a small, intricately carved wooden box. She placed it on my desk with a delicate touch. "A gesture of good faith," she said. "This amulet will offer you some protection against magical detection. It won't make you invisible to the other factions, but it will blur the edges, so to speak." I picked up the box, feeling a faint hum of power emanating from within. "And I suppose this comes with no strings attached." Her smile was razor-sharp. "Consider it an investment in your continued well-being, Mr. Blackthorn. After all, I can't collect on our arrangement if you're dead." I barked out a laugh. "At least you're honest about your motivations." "All right, I'll take the case. But I work alone, and I do things my way. The moment I smell a double cross, I'm out. Clear?" Lyria nodded, her form seeming to shimmer slightly in the dim light of my office. "Crystal, I shall await your progress report with great anticipation, Mr. Blackthorn. Do be careful out there. Quandaria can be so unpredictable at night." With that, she glided to the door, her cloak swirling around her like living shadow. As she reached for the handle, I called out, "What does this key look like? Might help if I know what I'm searching for." She paused, half turning to face me. "The key takes many forms, Mr. Blackthorn. To the uninitiated, it might appear as nothing more than a curious trinket. But to those who know what to look for." Her eyes locked onto mine, and for a moment, I felt as if I were falling into endless pools of darkness. "Well, let's just say you'll know it when you see it." And with that cryptic response, she was gone, leaving behind only the lingering scent of ozone and the weight of an impossible task. I slumped back into my chair, my mind reeling. Outside, the first hints of dawn were beginning to paint the sky, the magical lamps of Quandaria flickering out one by one. In a few hours, the city would be alive with the bustle of a new day, blissfully unaware of the mystical time bomb ticking away in its midst. I opened the wooden box, revealing a simple silver amulet nestled within. As I lifted it, I could feel the protective enchantments thrumming through it. I slipped it over my neck, hoping it was as effective as Lyria claimed. "Well, Corvus," I muttered to myself, reaching for my coat, "looks like you've really stepped in it this time. A magical key, secret societies, and a client who's probably lying through her teeth. Just another day in paradise." With a weary sigh, I headed for the door. The hunt for the key was on, and I had a feeling it was going to be a very long day.